Hey there, thanks for coming back to my channel and checking out this video. And today I want to talk about the photographer who's had the biggest influence on me, and talk a little bit about, you as a photographer, especially a street photographer. If there's someone that you've come across that's really inspired you and has helped you get to where you are today, or style you're really drawn to, and sort of try to emulate in your own work. And I think that's important. I think, for me, when I discovered this photographer, it changed the course of really kind of my life as a photographer in a way. I mean, I would not have a YouTube channel. I would not be doing art shows. I would not be continuing to do street photography or have the 2 books that I've currently published, things like this, if it wasn't for this chance happening. We all have things we can look back in our life and say, if that hadn't happened, I don't know. I mean, that led to this chain of events, all cause and effect, right? And one moment, one thing that happens that seems insignificant can you lead you down this path and can set up a chain of events. And for me, it was the day I discovered and started looking at the work of Saul Leiter. I've mentioned him numerous times in this channel. I will continue to mention him because he's been the biggest influence on my work. He's inspired me to an nth degree, because when I was first starting out, I had never seen street photography like that. I had seen sort of typical street photography, people's faces, people walking around, things like that. And I was fairly new. I was only doing street work maybe for a few months, and I saw stuff and it was unbelievable. But anyway, let's get to that. I'm gonna share with you the story, the moment that happened that sort of changed my career as a street photographer. And it actually happened with a picture that I took. It happened with this picture here. I call this Rainy Window. I've sold it, probably a handful of times in the last 3 or 4 years, big and small. I just happened to be downtown. It was raining out. I've always liked umbrellas. I was kind of toying with the idea of taking some umbrella pictures, and we had this window. We had this entryway, this vestibule to this indoor mall. Small, but it's an indoor mall kind of on College Ave here in Appleton. And it had these streaks coming down, had the rain on it. I thought, boy, that'd be cool if I focused on that and then had someone walking by with an umbrella. What a neat story that would tell. And I had to wait 5-6 minutes, and someone came by, and I took a picture of it, and I was pretty happy with it. I got home and I edited it. Didn't need a lot of editing, but took a little bit of editing. I turned it to black and white. I kind of liked it better in black and white. And then I decided to post it on social media. I posted it on a website called Fred Miranda, which is a site. It's great if you're looking to buy used equipment. It's a very high quality site. They have a lot of forums on there. It's been around for a long time. And I posted it in their forum for street photography. And it got some very nice comments, very nice feedback. And one of the comments that someone left was very brief, and it just said something about, I really like this. It reminds me a lot of Saul Leiter. And I read that. I was like, huh. Well, I'll have to check out this guy's work. Like, what is it about Saul Leiter that in this photo that he kind of made that connection? And so I looked him up online, and I was floored. I had just never seen this kind of street photography before. I'd never seen stuff where it was much more subdued, and there was maybe one person in the photo, but they weren't recognizable. They were hiding under an umbrella, or they were shot through a window. It was a lot of color stuff, which I wasn't used to. A lot of street photography is done in black and white. A lot of street photographers will tell you, real street photography is in black and white, and color is horrible or whatever. And here Saul was doing all this color work in the 50s and 60s and things like that. And when I saw how unusual it was compared to other street photography that I'd been exposed to in that first half a year or whatever I'd been doing it, I was just floored. I was like, I really like this stuff. And I think it's stuff that I could do, and that I've already kind of done with this first shot, that I could do here in Appleton. I could do here in a small city. He was in this huge city in New York. He was in the East Village, and he was producing images and taking images that you wouldn't know that this was busy New York. I mean, it could have been anywhere, a lot of this stuff. And so it inspired me that I could do beautiful street photography and create really attractive images in a small city like Appleton. Obviously, maybe he had more to work with, more square footage to work with, square mileage or whatever. But what he was choosing to capture in, in the busyness of New York was this very subdued, subtle, non-recognizable people. And I was really attracted to that. And I just, I kept looking at his stuff. I think a few days later, I'm like, I got to start getting this guy's book. So I started getting some books, and it just led me to wanting to do that kind of stuff, and to go out in bad weather, and to go out when it's raining, and go out when it's snowing, and to shoot different stuff, not typical street photography, and also open my eyes to color. The idea of being able to pull color and see color in a composition first. I was in this mindset that, street photography is black and white. So I'm almost in my mind, before I'm taking the shot, I'm like, how's this going to look in black and white? How's this going to look in black and white? And I was throwing out the color, and I wasn't recognizing color. And Saul really turned me on to the idea of, you can see something, and you may see that one pop of orange, or you may see that one pop of red that really sticks out, and it kind of ties an image together or tells a story. And that opened up a whole nother door. I mean, I still love black and white. Some of my best stuff is in black and white. Some of my best images, my award-winning photographs are black and white. But Saul opened up my eyes to the idea of color and embracing it, and there's nothing wrong with it. And so a lot of times now I'm actually looking for color when I'm out on the street. So that's sort of my Saul Leiter story. It was that one picture, posting on social media, getting a comment that mentioned his name, and that was it. That's all it took. And I think, if you're a street photographer, or even if you're not a street photographer, if you're a photographer, leave me a comment below. Let me know who was the photographer that really inspired you, that was the one that when you look back and go, wow, I'm really fortunate and glad I discovered his or her work, because it's led me to really be inspired and encouraged me to want to keep doing street photography and doing other things. So drop me some comments below. Let me know who's inspired you, how you discovered their work. Was it a chance happening, or were you actually just, searching for great street photographers or whatever? Was there an image that you took that sort of, led you down the path to finding this person? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your story. I love finding new photographers. I love it when I found Vivian Maier, when I found Ernst Haas, and some of these people, being inspired by their work as well has been awesome. And I've been able to discover those other people because of Saul, because of his influence in me wanting to look at other photographers and see their works and things like that. So it's been great. It's been a huge blessing for me as a street photographer to discover Saul in that sort of chance moment online. So hope that helps you out. If you're not someone who buys photo books, I highly recommend, just go online, start looking for photo books, go to your library and check out a few photo books from other photographers. Maybe ones that you currently like, or if you're not really into photo books, just go and get some books and start looking at it. It can be one of the best things you can do. I do know there's, I forgot who the photographer was, but there was someone a couple years ago that said, don't spend your money on gear. Actually buy photo books instead. I think that's really, really great advice. So let me know who your favorites are down below. Check out my website. Check out my 2 published books that I have. They're both on Amazon. You can check those out. Otherwise, keep hitting the streets, keep being inspired, and we'll talk to you soon with another video. Thanks. Bye-bye.